Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for taking the time to participate in, a virtual college night. I know that we're kind of in strange and uncertain times, but it's never too early to start thinking about the college search. And maybe if you have a little bit of extra time on your hands, maybe you do, maybe you don't, this is the perfect time to start in on that college search process. So my name is Jessie Heinrich. I am an admission counselor at DePaul University in Chicago. I am going to share some general information on the college search and then also share some specific information about DePaul University with you all as well. Just thinking about why you want to attend college. We know that many students are interested in professions and degree programs that are going to expand their mind, expand those academic interests and their professional interests, but also know that they want to go into a profession that will require a bachelor's degree. And part of that has to do with increasing earning potential, but also, as I said, part of that just has to do with having the educational background and diverse educational experience that comes in the university setting. You have lots of different choices when you are selecting a college or university, and it's really important to consider some of the factors on this slide as you make that choice. So I think one of the most important things to consider is whether or not that college or university has the major that you're interested in. And if you're not sure what major you're interested in quite yet, do they have a wide range of options, and are those options appealing to you? And then also, what do you want the classroom to look like? The overall size of the undergraduate student body, but also what the average classroom size is, which usually has a lot to do with that student to faculty ratio number. And then as far as admission requirements go, what are those average GPAs? What are the average test scores that university sees in their admitted class of students? Because that can kind of give you a good idea of whether or not you would meet the admission requirements of that institution. Location is very important as well. Is that setting the setting that you imagine your university experience taking place in? So whether that looks like a small college town with not much going on in the surrounding areas, or maybe a suburb of a large city, or whether you want to be right in the middle of a really large city like we are here in Chicago. Those are things to consider as well. And then what other offerings and student support services and extracurricular activities are available to students on campus? So how are you going to be supported so that you successfully complete that degree and feel engaged in that university community and feel like you have established that sense of community at your future college or university? Now, just things to consider as you prepare for that application process. We know that you do have to start preparing early on. We are looking at those grades in your freshman and sophomore years, and it's important to kind of start thinking about those factors that we just reviewed, so that you kind of have a sense of the type of school that you're looking for. Again, it's never too early to start challenging yourself in your courses and to get involved in those extracurricular activities at school. As far as junior year goes, as you're getting a little bit closer to that application process, it's time to start to hone that list of potential schools so that you have a reasonable number of applications to complete. You can start visiting at that point to maybe narrow that list down even a bit more. Typically, students are taking the SAT or ACT for the first time during that junior year, and then also connecting with the admission counselors at the universities that you're interested in. It's never too early to contact your assigned admission counselor, and that person will always be happy to share some insights with you on the application process and how that may look at that specific university. And then your senior year, even before senior year begins, the common application will open as early as August 1st. Then you can file that free application for federal student aid, the FAFSA, as early as October 1st. I know that we always encourage families to file the FAFSA early because there are certain grants and other application or scholarship applications, available that have a limited number of awards to disperse. So the earlier you have those opportunities and make those opportunities available to yourself through the filing of the FAFSA and through submitting the application, the greater and wider range of funding resources that become available. And then you have a few months there to kind of weigh your options, and then that traditional tuition deposit deadline of May 1st will sneak up on you around the end of your senior year. And then after you decide the school that you are going to attend, there will be some next steps in that enrollment process. Another reason to just be in touch with your admission counselor so that you are aware of all of those next steps that you need to complete so that you are prepared to move onto campus in August or September, and have a successful first year of college. Now, just some quick information about DePaul specifically. If any of you are considering DePaul or want more information, please feel free to contact me. The university is over 100 years old, founded back in 1898. St. Vincent de Paul is the university's namesake. We are the largest Catholic university in the country and also the nation's largest university with a primary mission of teaching and service. If you're wondering how large is the largest Catholic university in the country, we have just over 23,000 total students, 15,000 undergraduate students. We really define ourselves here at DePaul by these 3 E's. The first being education, the prestige and the wide range of the academic programs that we offer through our 10 academic colleges. That second E, environment. We are in the center of a really thriving, bustling urban environment, so students are having that urban college experience, but also have the traditional campus experience as well. There is about 1 square mile of DePaul only campus space in the Lincoln Park neighborhood, where they can really feel like that is their own space, that is their own university community, even though they are in the heart of Chicago. And then finally, ethos, the university's mission and the values that the university was founded upon. You see the 10 academic colleges that I mentioned here. The first 3 colleges on this list, the College of Business, the College of Communication, and the College of Computing and Digital Media, are all located on our downtown Loop campus. If you are not familiar with Chicago, the Loop is the main downtown business district of the city. And then the following 5 colleges on this list, the College of Liberal Arts and Social Sciences, the College of Science and Health, and the College of Education, along with our 2 conservatories, the Theater School and the School of Music, they are all located on the Lincoln Park campus, which is just a 10-15 minute ride from the Loop campus. So we are operating on this dual campus model, 2 main campuses. Students are taking courses, living on both campuses, finding student support services on both campuses, and spending quite a bit of time in both locations. We also operate on the quarter system. This is another thing to consider in the college search process, what that academic calendar looks like. DePaul has 3 required academic quarters, the fall, winter, and spring quarters. The fall quarter beginning just after Labor Day and finishing up just before Thanksgiving, followed by a 6-week-long winter break. And then that winter quarter from January through early mid-March, followed by a 1-week-long spring break, and then finishing up the academic year with spring quarter at the end of March into early mid-June. So you are getting an extra academic term out of each academic year, which opens up some time to take some additional courses every year. We really encourage students to embrace the city as their campus and to explore as early as possible. Our Discover Chicago and Explore Chicago courses, which is basically a College 101, University 101 type course, allows students to go on excursions around the city that first week after they move onto campus their freshman year. So that's one way that we encourage students to familiarize themselves with the city and feel comfortable navigating the city landscape. This graphic is a really great representation of the distance between the two campuses, and you see at the bottom of that photo the Chicago public transit system, the L train line. Students will receive a university CTA pass so that they can enjoy unlimited rides 24/7 on all Chicago transit vehicles. And as I mentioned a little bit earlier, it's just a 10-15 minute train ride between the two campuses. About 75% of our freshmen do live on campus, so students can choose from 12 different residential communities. The link at the bottom right-hand corner of this screen, DePaul.edu/housing, does provide virtual tours of each residence hall here on campus. And then also just like to point out all of the amazing and fun things going on in the city of Chicago that students can take advantage of during their time as a student here in Chicago, and maybe even beyond that. There are 7 professional sports teams here. The Art Institute, we're within walking distance to Lake Michigan and the Lincoln Park Zoo. So you do get that amazing lakefront for the East Coast students. Awesome restaurants, awesome theater shows and comedy clubs, and tons of other small businesses that we of course love to support. As students become involved on campus, another office that's available as a resource to them is the Career Center. Every student is assigned an advisor in the Career Center. We always tell students that a great advantage of attending a university in a city like Chicago is that they have access to so many business opportunities, professional job openings, in a large urban area, also have access to a really large alumni network, which of course is all contributing to strong, high career outcome percentages. So the percentage of our graduating students who are securing those full-time professional jobs within 6 months of graduation. Those career outcome statistics are another research point that you may consider gathering during that college search process. Students have tons of other opportunities for involvement on campus as well. Another thing to consider in the college search process is this student life piece. So what are the variety of clubs and organizations that are student run and university funded on campus? What do those look like? What does campus recreation look like? Here at DePaul, we have tons of club and intramural sports teams, and of course our Division I NCAA Big East Conference DePaul Blue Demons that we love to cheer for throughout the academic year. As you look forward to next steps in the application process, DePaul does use the Common Application. There's no application fee associated with the Common App here at DePaul. Aside from that application itself, we will need your official high school transcripts and official test scores, SAT or ACT scores. However, I will point out that DePaul is a test optional university. Another thing to consider in the college search is what that university's testing plan looks like. Since DePaul is a test optional university, students don't have to submit those scores. They're at no disadvantage by not submitting those scores. They're still eligible for all of the same academic scholarships. In test optional applicants, we are looking for a very strong transcript, of course, a strong unweighted and weighted GPA, rigorous courses, whether those are honors courses or AP courses. We see many students who do have quite strong performance in the classroom, but that doesn't necessarily translate to the standardized tests. That's kind of the whole philosophy behind the test optional pathway. But of course, if students do have a test score that they are proud of, then they can feel free to send that along as well. I mentioned closer to the beginning of the presentation that the FAFSA application does become available on October 1st. The Common Application becomes available on August 1st, so you can start that application process as early as August 1st. We require all of our early action students to apply by November 15th, and they will receive an admission decision no later than January 15th. If students miss that deadline, our regular notification date is February 1st, and those students receive a decision by March 15th. I will note here that early action programs are different from early decision programs. The early action option is non-binding, so you are not required or obligated to commit to attending DePaul. Just because you're accepted as an early action student, you're simply giving yourself priority consideration for academic scholarships and ensuring that you receive that admission decision a little bit earlier in the process. I walked through the test optional pathway a little bit. You see here that DePaul has been a test optional university for almost 10 years now. Our fall 2018 freshman class, we had about 14% of those applicants apply test optional. This number has increased with each passing year. And we see students from all different types of geographic backgrounds applying through the test optional pathway with an average 3.73 weighted high school GPA. There's also some additional information about FAFSA here. It's really important to file that FAFSA if you are seeking need-based financial aid opportunities. Universities cannot assess the expected family contribution without receiving that FAFSA information. So we do encourage all students to submit the FAFSA as soon as possible so that they can be considered for need-based grants, subsidized and unsubsidized federal loans, and work-study opportunities. DePaul does also automatically consider students for academic scholarships. The academic scholarships that we offer range from $14,000 to $23,000 per academic year, with some additional scholarship opportunities. We title these opportunities service and leadership scholarships. This is another great question to ask during the college search process. Will I be automatically considered for academic scholarships, or is there any additional application process that I need to navigate? I want to thank you all again for taking the time to tune in to this virtual college night. I hope that this information was helpful. Again, my name is Jessie Heinrich. I am an admission counselor at DePaul, assigned to many of our East Coast students. Please do not hesitate to reach out to me if you have any other questions as you navigate this college search process, or if you have any questions about DePaul in general. I wish you the best of luck with the rest of the school year, and am looking forward to answering any questions you may have. So bye-bye for now.